22 midday, we will turn our attentions to another story that has been dominating here today. That victory for one pub landlady from the South Coast, Karen Murphy, who was appealing against that decision. It means that she can continue to show live football via a foreign decoder. She was using a Greek satellite decoder in order to show football in her pub. We had a ruling this morning from the European Court of Justice in Luxembourg, which means she has won her case. I'm pleased to say we can speak live to Karen Murphy now, who joins me from her pub in Southsea. Hello, good morning to you.
Morning.
Are you feeling relieved? Were you a little anxious waiting for this decision?
Yes. I was very anxious, and the relief is slowly hitting me. So, yes, I was very nervous and very anxious this morning. Didn't sleep very well last night.
And what is it's been a long old battle for you. What is your feeling about the length of time it's taken, the stress of it all, simply to show some football matches?
Well, yes, it has been quite stressful and it has taken rather a long time, but obviously it was worth it in the end. I'm glad I took it on, even though it's taken up quite a chunk of my life. I'm glad I did it.
And where do you go from here? I mean, what sort of support have you been having from everyone locally? Have you had customers coming in this morning already and congratulating you? Did you feel that you had a lot of support with this?
In fact, yes, I found out the judgment this morning from one of my regulars who rang me at home and told me what it was. So, yes, there's been a lot of support. Yes, it's been fantastic.
How long-lasting do you think this decision will be? It's obviously brilliant news for you and for your customers today. You might know that there are people in the industry who say, actually, in the long run, maybe a few years down the line, that all these rules and agreements will be changed so that people doing what you're doing simply won't be able to do that anymore. You won't be able to use a foreign satellite in order to show these games to your customers.
Well, I'm sure the likes of the FA and Sky will try and do anything, obviously, to protect their income. I can't actually say how it's going to pan out. I hope it doesn't go back to the way it is, because it's not a fair, free choice of market. It's not a fair choice for the customer. So I hope it doesn't go back to the way it is. I'd like to think it wouldn't.
And just give us a sense of the costs involved, in fact. Remind people what difference it made to you financially to show the games in the way that you chose to do it.
When I did have Nova, which was several years ago now, obviously, sort of 6 years ago, I paid £800 for a year subscription, as opposed to it be about £700 a month for Sky in my small pub. That's quite a lot of difference, 10%, I'd say, of the cost.
And at the time that
in this climate, you know, that's a massive, massive boost to our income. I mean, I just certainly couldn't afford to have Sky. I've never had it because it's far too expensive, and I couldn't have it again. Couldn't have it ever.
And do you hope that, therefore, in the short term, that something might change? That somehow Sky, if it wants to get its customers on board, perhaps if Sky came to you today and said, OK, we know what's happened in Luxembourg, we'll cut you a deal if you come back to us, would you be up for considering that?
Well, there's no going back to them because I've never been with them ever. But I think Sky should have reduced their prices several years ago. They wouldn't have lost so much custom in the pubs where they cannot afford to pay their subscription. They should have been reasonable in the first place. So it's probably a bit late to come back and say, well, cut everybody a deal now. They shouldn't have been so greedy in the first place.
Well, very good to talk to you, Karen. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
I'm sure you have a brimming pub full of people to come and congratulate you, and we'll let you head off and get a drink.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Karen. Thank you. That's Karen Murphy from her pub in Southsea on the south coast.
Well, it is edging up to 2:15.